You know, I haven't been in Eastport in a while.
Okay.
And I was really kind of surprised to see this beautiful new building you have here.
Yes. Yeah, we finished this in December and moved in. Down up here is our office. Downstairs we've got a welcome center, public restrooms. Chamber of Commerce will have an office down there. They'll be open during the summer with informational stuff set up. University of Maine Sea Grant Extension Program has an office down there.
So you have a board here.
We do.
Oh,
Four of
nice.
them are publicly elected from the city of Eastport. They have to be residents. One is the city manager is automatically on the board, the president of city council, and MDOT appoints a representative.
So you have a city manager,
Correct.
not a selectman style government.
Correct, yes.
Has it always been that way here?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep, there's a city council and a city manager.
Do you know how many people live in Eastport, roughly?
Oh, 1,600,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
You'd
Did
have
you
to
grow up
double
here
check
too?
that. I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Families all here and everything? Still, mom and dad?
Everybody's still here.
Everybody's here.
Yeah.
Now, why would you have a welcome center? What's the whole idea of it?
Well, there was a need for it. The Chamber of Commerce had applied for a grant. They, in order to get tour buses, you have to have public restrooms.
Yeah.
And there were none in the city of Eastport. So that was the plan. Port Authority saw a need, and we had the ability to fill that need, and here we are.
This is great.
So
this will be a combination where people can be welcomed, and
yes.
the Chamber of Commerce is here?
Yep, the Chamber of Commerce will have their office right there. This is a community space. The Chamber's already had one event here, New Year's Eve. This can be served as when the Breakwater is finished, the cruise ships, when they come down the Breakwater, we can have the welcome center right here. They can pick up their maps and what to do around town and all that good stuff.
So I've had an office in Eastport for the last 20 years. It's been at the boat school, and the Port Authority offered me new space here in their facility, and it's just a wonderful spot for me to be in terms of access to the public, access to a wonderful meeting room so we can have public meetings. And so I do a bunch of work in the area. We're currently working on alewife restoration in Pembroke. It's one of the things that I do.
Yep.
I've assisted with salmon farming for many years. I help the Port Authority by serving on the Harbor Committee. I do lots of things
Oh,
here.
you do?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So how are things here? How is the Bay doing? I mean, you hear conflicting things. People wonder. Every time I come back, I look out there and I go, there was a time when there were so many fish that no one thought that it would ever go away. It was an inexhaustible resource. Where are we today?
So the Gulf of Maine has certainly changed in my lifetime as well. When I first came here, we still had groundfish to catch. I grew up in mid-coast Maine, and the groundfish disappeared down there in the mid-90s. And yet I came up here, and there were still handliners catching cod and pollock. And yet in the last 10 to 15 years, those species have declined dramatically here as well. And so as those species have declined because of multiple reasons, overfishing being one of them, other species seem to be filling the niche. So as you can see in the summers, it's still an active Atlantic mackerel fishery off the Breakwater.
Yep.
And other species such as squid, dogfish, numbers seem to be fluctuating in the Gulf of Maine as well.
I mean, it's a big question. How are we going to bring back the fish?
Well, it is a really good question, and I don't have the answer for that. But
Yeah.
we do. I work with researchers at the University of Maine that are studying this type of thing. It's multifaceted, as you know, and we have an ever-changing ecosystem as well. You know, we're talking about the ocean waters warming now, and so species have to adapt as we're trying to increase the numbers as well. We're working with alewives, which are an anadromous fish. They spawn in fresh water. They live in the sea. Those type of river herring numbers, seems like you can restore populations, and they will continue to come back. We have had some successes with certain species. And those are forage fish. Those are food for larger species such as the cod and pollock that you're asking, where have they gone and how can we get them back? So although I don't have the answers, there are a number of people that are interested in helping to bring the fish back and to solve that type of question.
And you mentioned that the sea is warming. Are we noticing a rise in the sea temperature?
Throughout the Gulf of Maine, we are seeing slow incremental rise in the sea temperatures. Yeah.
Oh boy. And that's not a good thing.
Well, certainly we're seeing warmer water species that used to be south of Cape Cod now being caught in areas such as Portland in southern Maine. So we are seeing a shift in the species that were once dominant here.
Right.
So black sea bass, for instance, were never
Right.
caught north of the Cape. Now we're starting to see a few in Maine
That's
waters.
a nice fish.
Right. So
I
there
guess
are
some people aren't complaining about that.
there are opportunities.
There are.
As well as risks.
How about in this area, in the Passamaquoddy Bay? Are there any other, aside from the seal population seeming to grow every year?
Right.
Is that true?
It is. Well, the gray seal population continues to grow.
Yeah.
Gray seals are a much larger seal than harbor seals. Gray seals can get up to 800 pounds. They continue to expand. Harbor seals the population has risen for many years, and now, according to researchers, is starting to plateau. That could be because gray seals are starting to displace them a bit.
Yeah. Is that a problem here?
Is it a problem for seal numbers to continue to
The
grow?
gray seal population exploding or rising, has it become an issue for anyone? Are
Well,
the fishermen complaining, I mean?
Fishermen are certainly complaining.
Yeah.
Because they're a predatory animal, feeding on fish.
Sure.
I can't say that they're altering the ecosystem in any big way. I don't know of any studies that I've read, so that would be up to seal experts and not myself.
Yeah, right, okay. Well, thank you. Thank
Sure,
you for
Gina.
talking with me.
Okay.